Do these US-developed laser weapons really work? The military interest in these laser weapons from science fiction movies has increased a lot in recent years. Because this weapon really looks like it's from the future, and if you have electricity in laser weapons, you have unlimited bullets. So where exactly are these laser weapons being used? It is known that laser weapons are being tested on sea, air, and land platforms. They are especially being tested and considered for use in air defense systems and naval vessels. As a technology that can replace or complement traditional firearms, laser weapons have an important place in America's military strategy and defense policies. Laser weapons can also be used against targets, such as unmanned aerial vehicles and missiles. At the moment, we cannot say that laser weapons are 100% built, but in this video, we will examine the laser weapons that have been built so far and used by the US, and we will give a lot of information about laser weapons. ANSEQ-3 Laser Weapon System. The ANSEQ-3, also known as the XN-1 LAWs, was developed by the United States Navy between 2010 and 2014. When production was completed, it was integrated onto the USS Paz for field tests. Tests were carried out until December 2024, and it passed them perfectly. The Navy saw the characteristics of this laser weapon and authorized the Ponce commander to use this laser system as a defensive weapon. LAWS is basically designed to be used against low-level asymmetric threats. At high power, up to 30 kilowatts, it can be used to burn sensors, incinerate engines, and destroy explosives. LAWS can destroy a small drone in just 2 to 3 seconds. When it encounters small boats, it fires a laser beam at the boat's engine, blasting the engine and disabling the boat, then quickly repeats this on other boats, destroying them too. And all this takes only a few seconds per boat. When confronted with a larger aircraft, such as a helicopter, LAWS can cause it to crash by burning and detonating the helicopter's weak points or areas that could bring it down. Uses a special infrared beam with a solid-state laser array that can be tuned to high output to destroy, warn, or paralyze a target's sensors. One of the advantages compared to projectile weapons is their low cost. Also, ammunition for projectile weapons must be designed, manufactured, transported, and maintained, and they take up extra space. Laser weapons do not have this problem. We know a little bit about laser weapons, but how do they work? Let's take a look. Normal light, like the light from light bulbs in our homes, has multiple frequencies moving in all directions. But a laser is different. The light from a laser is made up of waves of the same frequency traveling in one direction with a very high intensity. Most importantly, the light waves in a laser are coherent, meaning that they all line up together. There is also a misconception about lasers. High-energy lasers are invisible to the human eye, which actually makes laser weapons an effective force. Another important advantage of laser weapons is their cost. The costs of defense and offensive missiles used today are very, very high. Some missiles cost millions of dollars per shot. The UK has also recently allocated a budget to produce laser weapons and developed a laser weapon called Dragonfire. Let's look at the statement made by the UK Ministry of Defence in January. It has the potential to be a long-term, low-cost alternative to the specific tasks that missiles currently perform. In other words, laser weapons could replace missiles for defense in the not-too-distant future. There's also a statement from the UK's Ministry of Defence, which puts the price of firing a 10-second laser burst at around $13. In contrast, the Standard Missile-2 used by the United States Navy for air defense costs more than $2 million per shot. So when we look at these figures, why use a multi-million-dollar missile when you can destroy a threat for $13? Laser weapons will be a huge advantage in this regard. The laser weapon can be integrated into many weapons. It can be integrated into air defense vehicles on land, warships at sea, or fighter jets and helicopters in the air. And we can see examples of this. For example, we can see an example on land in the M-Shored vehicle. Let's take a look at the features of the M-SHORAD vehicle. First of all, it is mounted on a highly mobile, 8-wheeled Stryker A1. So what targets can this weapon hit? Targets include cruise missiles, UAVs, low-flying, high-speed fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters. This vehicle is equipped not only with a laser weapon, but also with several other types of weapons. On the turret, the vehicle is equipped with 2 ready-to-fire AGM-114 Hellfire missiles, a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun, and 4 ready-to-fire Stinger missiles housed in an external capsule. This way, it can also perform air defense with a laser weapon and destroy some ground-based threats. Boeing YAL-1 aircraft. The Boeing 747-400F has been modified, and a chemical oxygen iodine laser has been integrated into its nose. Defense contractors designed the YAL-1 to intercept and destroy tactical ballistic missiles in the launch phase, but for some reasons, they canceled the program. Currently, Turkey has integrated the laser weapon into its newly developed Kan fighter jet. There are a few countries in the world that produce laser weapons: America, Russia, China, Turkey, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Japan. These countries have taken important steps towards developing laser weapons and are still developing them. In the coming years, laser weapons are likely to become one of the defining elements of the modern battlefield. By developing and integrating this technology, the United States aims to maintain its military superiority and gain an advantage over its competitors. Laser weapons, which can be used on air, sea, and land platforms, will become the weapon of choice as they respond more quickly and effectively to enemy threats. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel to be informed about new videos, and click on the following videos to go to the new video.